Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big League Dreaming, the podcast, the show about baseball, dreams, and family. I'm John Gonzalez, the dad, based in Saginaw, Michigan, and we have the format of the show is a dad and his three sons talking about the game they love. Everyone is spread out throughout the country, and this gives us a chance to get together and talk about baseball. Today's topic is MLB, with a little update on what's going on with some of the teams that are trending up and trending down, and the start of the College World Series. Let's introduce son number one. He's based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he is the big Mariners fan. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Dad?
I'm doing fine. Just coming off that big outing last night to see the High A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Great Lakes Loons. I haven't been to that ballpark in several years, so we could talk about that at some point in the show. And I know you get pretty busy because you're in the city of the Charlotte Knights, where the AAA affiliate of the White Sox play.
Yeah, the White Sox actually made a trade today. They traded Andrew Vaughn to the Milwaukee Brewers for Aaron Savale, who requested a trade 2 days ago because they called up rookie Jacob Misiorowski to be in the rotation, and they said, "Hey, veteran Savale, you're going to the bullpen." He said, "Well, trade me." And then the Brewers posted, "Happy birthday to Aaron Savale." They traded him to the White Sox for Andrew Vaughn, who was a longtime Charlotte Knights player. Played a lot of games here in Charlotte. So,
Wow, yeah, Mizorowski had quite a debut too for the Brewers. Wow, just wow. That's all I can say. Joining us from Grand Rapids, Michigan, home of the West Michigan Whitecaps, the high affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, is son number two. He is our Mets fan. It's a good time to be a Mets fan. It's Ty Gonzalez. Ty, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Yeah, it's a great time to be a Mets fan. They're playing like they should be. It started off really slow in the first few series of the season, but they're on fire right now, so it's great. Soto's coming around. He's had a slow start, hitting some home runs now, and Alonso's been on fire.
He has he has. I've been watching the Mets more and more lately because talking about teams that are trending up, the Mets for sure. Not watching as much Mariners baseball to talk about teams trending down, and the Tigers just seem to be not up or down. They've just been really consistent. I don't think anyone would put them in the up because they've been trending up all season, right? Zach and I talked about that on the Sports Project show. We did a podcast earlier in the week with a radio show out of Grand Rapids, and I think on that podcast, Zach, we were just like, hey, they've been up. It's more than a sample. It's more than a few weeks. It's not a trend anymore. This team's for real, right, Zach?
yeah, absolutely. Especially with what they did down the stretch last season. They've proven they've done it for over 100 games. So they're a scary team.
They are a scary team, and but the Mets, like, they just caught up with the Tigers. The Tigers have had that title the of baseball's winningest team. I think the Mets and the Tigers are both tied with 45 wins, Ty?
Yep. Mets got their 45th win yesterday, and that's six in a row. But I mean, six in a row. But they played the Rockies last series, and they're playing the Nationals right now. Nationals, I think, are under 500. They're
Yeah,
just two not very good teams. I'm just glad they swept the Rockies and didn't lose any of those games.
it's kind of sad to watch the Nationals right now. They just are not playing well. Let's see here. Let's talk a little bit before we get into trending up and trending down. Zach, when does the College World Series begin? I kind of lost track with all the baseball games I've been going to with the Loons, the Tigers. I kind of lost track of where we are at in the World Series.
Yeah, the World Series in Omaha, College World Series starts on today, Friday, June 13th. So there'll be games today and tomorrow to kick off the weekend. And it's two pools of four. So you have Coastal Carolina, Arizona, Oregon State, and Louisville in one bracket, and then the other bracket of four is UCLA, Murray State, Arkansas, and LSU. So you'll get one team that'll come out of each side, and then those teams will play a best of three series. Saturday, June 21st, Sunday, June 22nd, and Monday, if necessary, June 23rd for the whole thing.
Well, you got to be rooting for Murray State, right? I mean, there are a lot of teams that are in this Final Four or Final Eight that haven't been there before, right, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year, I think it's the first time in a long time that there's never been a team make it to the World Series that didn't make it the year before, which is pretty pretty remarkable that, out of the 8 teams, not even one of them is coming back from last season that made it to Omaha.
That's crazy.
But I will be on Coastal Carolina. Pretty cool that they got Arizona in their bracket, because Arizona is the team that they beat in 2016 when Coastal Carolina won the national championship.
Yeah, good for Coastal being back. I figured you were rooting for Coastal, so you're probably looking at a Coastal Murray State final. Would you like that?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, totally.
Ty, I know you watched a few games over the Super Regionals. Any teams that jump out at you here going into the World Series this weekend?
Yeah, when we did our episode a few weeks ago, I said LSU, because they just won a couple years ago. I feel like they're always really strong, and they just always play well in the series. So I'm pulling for LSU. I think they'll win it all.
Well, okay, not surprising there. I mean, they're a decent team this year. Kind of bummed that Duke didn't make it in. Although after a while, I started rooting for Murray State.
Yeah, I was talking to Brian Sikowski, who's on staff with Duke, who we've had on the show, just wishing him best of luck and things like that. And then it was like the day after Duke was eliminated, their longtime head coach took the job at Virginia to be with the Virginia Cavaliers next season, which is a pretty big coaching move, especially with the coach from Virginia. I believe he went to Mississippi State, I think. I'd have to double check that. But yeah, I mean, all the shuffle right now of coaching firings and hirings among college baseball that's going on over the next week or two here.
And there will be a lot of scouting going on too, because the draft is right around the corner, and these major league teams, now that players seem to be not taking that long to get there, right? And so yeah, there's a lot going on here the next few weeks, next month or so, in the baseball world, whether it's college baseball or major leagues. All right, so today we thought we would just talk about teams trending up and trending down. We talked about that a few seconds ago in the podcast. By the way, folks, if you have not listened to Big League Dreaming, the podcast before, and you want to hear some previous episodes, Zach mentioned a guest that we had on not too long ago. Or it's been a while though when we had.
End of last year. I think it was
Sikowski
December.
on. Yeah, it was been some time. But you can find our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. You can find our episode. This is season 5 of Big League Dreaming, the podcast. Someone asked me that, how many years have you guys been doing this? I'm like, I can't believe we're on our 5th year already. So congratulations to the team for making it happen. Son number 3, by the way, is Zane Gonzalez. He's the Red Sox fan, and he's based in South Bend, Indiana. I hope to see him this weekend on Father's Day. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and everyone on the podcast. I'll see him on Sunday morning, I think, on Father's Day, and going to be driving through the South Bend, Chicago area this weekend, so hopefully get a chance to catch up with him. Zach was just in Detroit or in Grand Rapids. He was in the whole state of Michigan, let's face it, right, Zach? You and the girls were here visiting. And Ty, you've been on the road too, so it's been a kind of a crazy few weeks for the Gonzalez family, right, guys?
Yeah. Zane just texted in right now. He said probably won't be on. Starting to rain here. Have to make a call and scramble to put tarps on.
Yeah, he's managing the field there at IUSB, Indiana University of South Bend, and there's a tournament going on this weekend, which is why he is not on the show today. All right, trending up, trending down. Let's talk about teams that are trending up right now. Zach, I know you had a couple. You already quashed my trending up because I realized my team wasn't trending up at all. We'll talk about that in a second. But who do you have trending up right now?
Yeah, the team I have trending up right now is the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 38-30. They've won 8 out of their last 10, and they are 4.5 games behind the Yankees. Which, it's middle of June right now. Plenty of time to make up 4.5 games. Everybody's kind of talking about Yankees and Tigers being at the forefront of the American League, but the Blue Jays could very well, come out of nowhere and take that AL East division if they stay hot, if they're strong down the stretch, if the Yankees stumble a little bit, and that would really kind of shake up the outlook as people are thinking right now, which will happen in the American League. It's going to be interesting because the Blue Jays, they have to decide, are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? at the deadline, they have shortstop Bo Bichette, who's in his last year of his contract. And, if things trend down a little bit for the Blue Jays, would they trade Bo Bichette? Former All-Star. He had some injuries last year, but now he's batting 270 with 8 home runs, and he led the American League in hits in 2021 and 2022. So Blue Jays could get a haul for their starting shortstop if they decide to go that route. But I mean, if they keep staying hot like this, maybe they're buyers and they go for a run. We'll see.
Well, and plus you never know if the Yankees have an injury that just, stop. I know that they're loaded, but you never know. I mean, Aaron Judge goes out for a few weeks, and anything can happen, right? So, good team trending up. How about you, Ty? What do you got team trending up? It's got to be the Mets all the way, right?
Yeah, I got the Mets trending up, but they haven't played a lot of tough games. They had a couple series with the Dodgers, though. They had a 4-game series with them, and they should have took 3 of those games, but they took 2 out of 4, and then they played the White Sox, and they lost a game to the White Sox, which was rough. But then they played the Rockies a couple times, so they won all 6 of those games. But I'm interested to see what they do coming up here because they get the Braves, Phillies, and Braves again after this home series with the Rays. So that's going to be a fun 10, 12 games right there. And the Phillies have been a little down. I'm looking at their schedule here. It looks like they got swept by Milwaukee, and they also got swept by the Pirates. So they're kind of falling off a little bit. I think they're 5 or 6 games back now. A few weeks ago, they were in first above the Mets, so they've kind of swapped spots in these last 10, 12 games. So it's going to be fun when they play each other. I think they play in Philly, and the Mets' record on the road, a lot of their games they're losing are on the road. They're 18-17 on the road, but they're 27-7 at home. So so earlier, like middle of May, when they lost the series to Yankees and Red Sox, those are both on the road. So it's going to be interesting to see Mets Phillies with the Mets being on the road here next week.
Yeah, the National League East, the Phillies are 3-7 over the last 10 games. The Nationals 2-8. Braves, there could be a team trending down 2-8, and Marlins 2-8. So, the whole division is just for the Mets for the taking, I think, at the moment. All right, so Zach, I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I originally had picked the Cardinals as a team trending up, and then your text was like, Dad, they've lost 4 in a row. I'm like, oh yeah, that is true. And I was going off the fact that
The Tigers.
I saw Tigers, yeah. Saw them play the Tigers, and I thought, this team's not bad. This team is going to hang around. Yeah, the Cubs have the Central. Brewers are always going to be tough, but the Cardinals are hanging right. They're only a half game behind the Brewers, 6 games back of Chicago. They've seemed to surpass Cincinnati, who I'll see this weekend in Detroit. The Reds taking on the Tigers. But they've lost 5 in a row, so that's definitely not a team trending up. But I'm going to surprise you, Zach, with this one. Trending up in the American League West, Angels.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to hear the Angels are trending up. The Angels are 7-3 in the last 10 games. They've won 3 in a row. And I caught a game. I don't know who they were playing, but I watched Joey Dell hit, and his makeup is totally different. I remember seeing him. He's been a prospect forever, right, Zach?
Right.
I mean, everyone knows his name in the baseball world. This was supposed to be the next big superstar. I watched him in Mexico. Remember when I was down there a few years ago, and I watched him play for Team USA, and he looked terrible at bat. He struck out swinging, and I'm like, I don't see this guy's makeup at all, and everyone was raving about him. But anyway, the game I caught recently, he looks like he's filled out. He looks stronger. He just looks like he's more confident. In center field, he's more confident. At bat, I think he's tied for the most home runs in the month of June already. And he's having a good season turnaround and been part of the reason why the team's not bad. I hate saying a team is trending because they're not bad. But it makes sense. I think the Angels might be able to do something here in that AL Central or AL West.
Yeah, looks like they took 2 from Boston, 2 from Seattle, and swept the Athletics. So
It was
not bad.
it was that Mariners series that we were watching when I was in Michigan, Dad.
Oh, that must
And
have been it. Yes.
Joel hit the 2 home runs in the one game.
Yes, that was it. I went, oh, that's not the same hitter I saw. And so good for him. He's having a great year. So that would be my team trending up, which, of course, Zach doesn't want to hear in the AL West. All right, let's talk about teams trending down. Zach, you want to go first?
Yeah, so the Mariners are 2-8 in their last 10 games. It's really just coming down to the starting pitching and the offense. Also, the offense not doing what they did in April. I mean, in April, for the last few years, it's all been about pitching, right, for the Mariners, but they can't hit. And then April 2025, they're like one of, I don't know, top 5, top 10 offenses in all of baseball. And it's plenty enough to get them some wins. But now that offense is coming down to earth, besides Cal Raleigh, he's like MVP status, but everybody else is just kind of back down to earth, and the starting pitching hasn't been able to hold its own like it has the last 2 years. And they've been hit with a bunch of injuries. Bryce Miller hasn't been himself all year. He just hit the IL for the second time. They didn't have George Kirby for the first 2 months of the season. And then Logan Gilbert went down probably 3-4 weeks ago with elbow issues. But he's been in Tacoma rehabbing. He should he should come back off the IL in the next 7 days or so. So they are getting stronger, but they've had to rely on Emerson Hancock and rookie Logan Evans to make a lot of starts in this rotation for the Mariners. And they're fine major leaguers, but they're not a George Kirby, a Logan Gilbert, or Bryce Miller, those front line starter type of guys. Thankfully, Luis Castillo and Brian Wu have been awesome all year long, so that's kind of kept them in it. I know that the bats will come back around and they'll be okay, but right now it's a tough time and they're definitely trending down.
Well, that's probably not a good thing to say coming from the mouth of a diehard Mariners fan. All right, Ty, who do you have trending down?
The Phillies. I said a little bit earlier, the Phillies, their last, I think, let's see here. I just had it pulled up. Their last 10 games, they're 3-7, and they've lost a couple series. It looks like they lost a series to, where'd it go? Yeah, they got swept by Milwaukee at home, and then they got swept by the Pirates, who aren't very good, on the road. And then they lost 2 out of 3 to Toronto, and then, well, it looks like they just won yesterday, so they did take a series from the Cubs, so they might be starting to trend up. We'll have to see how they do against Toronto this weekend. But yeah, they're definitely getting swept by the Pirates is never good.
No. I'll see the Pirates next week. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Phillies, they're 5.5 games back of the Mets. Like you said, 3-7 in the last 10 games. If there's any team in the NL East that'll make a run at the Mets, it would be the Phillies. So maybe they'll rebound and still make a game of it. It's still a lot of time to play in baseball, so we'll see what happens. Trending down for me, and I'm not just saying this because it's in the AL Central, but the Guardians. I mean, the Guardians have always been like right there. They've been a team that the Tigers never want to play. The rivalry is intense, but Minnesota has just passed them up. So Minnesota is in second place, 36 wins, but only 5-5 in their last game. But the Guardians are 35 wins, 4-6, 8.5 back from the Tigers. I would not be surprised if Cleveland, just because of their inconsistent hitting, the pitching hasn't been consistent either. It's been an inconsistent team all year long. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers have double digits in the lead by the All-Star break. That would not surprise me.
Double digits, wow. Yeah, they could. What are they at right now?
It's 8.5 games back.
Wow. Yeah,
So,
maybe even before that.
maybe, maybe by the end of this month it'll happen. But I don't think Tristan McKenzie hasn't pitched well. Carrasco hasn't pitched well. And then offensively, they're just struggling all around. And I don't know if this team is built for the full season. That's what I'm seeing as trending down, is that they're starting to have some inconsistencies where before, you could count on, what's his name? Ramirez Naylor, right? It's not going in the direction that I think that the fans like at the moment. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Tigers fan, right? You're going, yeah, right. It's easy for a Tigers fan to say. I don't know. We'll see. They got some games coming up against the Tigers, and that'll be fun to see. I know that we got swept by them, so shouldn't talk too much.
And look out for the White Sox too. Looks like they took two from Detroit.
They did.
And they took two from Kansas City. And they took one from the Mets, and they took one from Houston, even though they were last place.
So the White Sox are off the hook because the White Sox had the historic worst season in all-time history last year, 2024, and now the Rockies are on pace to crush that and have an worse year. They only have 13 wins.
Gosh.
Yeah, you're holy cow.
That's
The
bad.
13.55.
A minus 201 run differential. They've given up 200 more runs than they've scored.
Jeez. Wow. That's bad.
That's almost like the Baltimore Orioles. Jeez.
Yeah, what happened to them? I thought they were really good. Weren't they just really good like
They were,
a couple years ago?
Well, when we went to the game, you remember how the fans were crazy and how nuts it was there at Camden Yards?
They were like a first-place team
against the Tigers, and there was like not a lot
Well,
of
the
fans
Orioles,
there.
they just have no starting pitching. I mean, unfortunately, they had to trade away Corbin Burns instead of signing him. So he went elsewhere, and they already didn't have any starting pitching. And then Grayson Rodriguez goes down with the injury. He hasn't even thrown yet this year. They signed veteran Charlie Morton, who's been beyond awful. They have all their starters, 1 through 5, have just been brutal this year. They're trying to have guys like Cade Povich go out there and make huge starts, but you could even have a super good offense. I mean, Adley Rutschman's having a really bad year, but like they could hit the lights out, but without the starting pitching, you're not really going to get anywhere.
Yeah, and that lopsided win against the Tigers, really, that wasn't indicative of the game. It was a close game till the very end, and the bullpen just fell apart. The Tigers just sent down Bo Brisky. I mean, he just wasn't cutting it. So, I don't give them a lot of credit for. Well, I should say that. I mean, they're major leaguers. They're going to get credit. They're going to score
one big inning in the 8th, 7 runs in the 8th.
Yeah, I mean, so it could have swept. That could have been a sweep for the Tigers. So, all right, guys, I got to wrap things up here. Any final words, whether on college baseball or the MLB season, as we're getting into June, middle of June already?
Yeah, looking forward to Omaha.
For sure.
LSU to win it all, and Tigers Mets World Series.
Well, I'm rooting for a Coastal Murray State final in the College World Series. How about you, Zach?
Yeah, totally. I am rooting for LSU too, though. I want to see them do well. I'll be watching Cade Anderson, one of their left-handed starting pitchers, who's going to be a top pick in the draft. Seattle might take him, so I'll be watching his start closely. And then once the World Series is done, then we'll be on to draft preview in July. So looking forward to draft season coming up very soon.
All right, guys, fun show. It's good catching up with you guys. Happy Father's Day weekend, as I said earlier. Hope you guys have a great day if I don't see you. Ty, where can people get more information about Big League Dreaming, the podcast?
Yeah, you can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at BLDpod. That's at BLDPOD. We're also on TikTok at Big League Dreaming. And give us a subscribe on YouTube. We just passed 200 subscribers, Big League Dreaming, the podcast. You can check out all our episodes there, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you later. Bye.